The first plot point follows. Danny enters the Colorado lounge with bruises on his neck. His father wakes up from the nightmare, and now, the second act. In the following sequence, Jack goes to the gold room. This is the crossing of the first threshold for Jack. Since he enters the special world inside the Overlook Hotel, the second act has begun. Pendaki's De Natura Sonoris number 2, which started in the previous scene, is heard here and will be heard once again at the beginning of the third act and at the apparent end of the third act, obviously. In the gold room, Jack meets Lloyd, the first ghost he sees, who acts as a threshold guardian. Moreover, Lloyd is the first ally encountered by Jack in the special world. Lloyd strengthens Jack's will, therefore acting as an enemy of Danny. In this case, the threshold guardian is clearly an objective correlative of an obscure part of Jack's mind. The alcoholism problem is absent. The liquor that Jack asks for and then drinks seems to be desired only in order to dampen his anger, with no other implications. We know about Jack's former alcoholism, right? Therefore, the fact he drinks liquor reinforces the idea of crossing the threshold on a psychological level. At any rate, this subplot is not developed. The liquor primarily represents a magical poison that sanctions Jack's evil pact with Lloyd and the Overlook through him. And therefore allows him to start the adventure in the special world. If you know what I mean, Lloyd. If you know what I mean. Overall, the ghosts who appear to Jack incarnate the shapeshifters. They are seemingly innocuous, but actually subjugate him to the hotel. But the most literal shapeshifter is the woman in the room 237. And let's not talk about that scene, it was so disgusting and condense no details to the analysis. Let's skip that part from our analysis. Thanks to the cross-cutting, at the same time, we see Danny's vision. The archetype of the shadow can be found. It stands for the fury of the evil side, the danger which lies tactically beneath the surface. In The Shining, the shadow is twofold. First, there is the Overlook Hotel, which tries to take advantage of Jack in order to eliminate his family. Then there is Jack himself, as Danny's antagonist, representing what the boy may become if he does not accomplish his own journey. The first test for Jack in the special world is the temptation of drinking liquor, since we know about Jack's alcoholism. The second test is the one which occurs in room 237. Afterwards, Jack quarrels with Wendy about his needs, and then he sort of approaches to the inmost cave. He goes back to the gold room, where a party is taking place. Jack is greeted. He receives the liquor at no charge.
Anything you say, Lloyd. Anything you say.
And then he finally meets his mentor, Delbert Grady. Grady is a shapeshifter as well, because he is introduced as a jovial waiter in a 20th style party, but then reveals himself as the unsettling 2070 caretaker who killed his family. In the red bathroom, Grady suddenly instructs Jack about his adventure, preparing him for the central ordeal.
But I corrected them, sir. And when my wife tried to prevent me from doing my duty, I corrected her.
It occurs during the confrontation between Jack and Wendy in the Colorado launch. After she reads the typewritten text,
How do you like it?
it is confirmed that Jack's mentality has changed after having disabled the radio, and as we will learn later about that snowcat, he seems to be willing to hurt his wife. The metaphorical gate behind his back is definitely closed. Since the novel is actually a repetition of the same sentence, all work and no place makes Jack a dull boy. His wife wants to think over and over because she does not understand his needs, and she knocks him out and down the stairs with a baseball bat, thus preventing him to completing his tasks. As in the best midpoints, the scene contains the symbolic death of the protagonist, who will then be left powerless and lame, locked inside the pantry, and what now remains is a psychedelic.
Go check it out.
Jack undergoes a rebirth of sort. He fully regains his consciousness and makes Wendy become aware of his evil actions. Then, while still inside the pantry, Jack receives the greatest reward yet. Grady gives him another chance to do his job, releasing him from the pantry. This is the clearest physical interaction between a ghost and an ordinary reality of the film, and Jack's escape is the second plot point of the film. The protagonist deals with his desire in the most extreme and irreversible way, since he does not come back to his senses. In other words, Jack definitely misses the chance to satisfy his real need. And now, the third act.